Colossians 3:13, forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. In other words, we should forgive as Christ has forgiven us and not hold a grudge against one another. Hey gang, I hope everybody is doing okay. We got some indoor stuff going on today. It's approximately 1:30 in the afternoon here in Virginia, and at 1:30 in the afternoon it is still below freezing outside. To be exact, it's about 21 degrees outside as we speak. We're still going to be doing some stuff on the Maverick in later videos. Once it gets warmed up, we got a few things we're going to work on. But yeah, we're at that point in the year. Last year we didn't have cold to deal with. I think we had one measurable snow. Maybe we had a day when it was some flurries or something. But last year it was not cold. Most of the winter was over 50 degrees. This year, it's been high in the 30s. It's been 20 degrees as a high today. It's been down in the teens and single digits at night. So I'm in the garage. I plan on doing some other work in here, but I had an order come in, and I thought you guys might be interested to know what we are doing. And this is a disclaimer already. This is going to be some boat stuff. So we're going to do an unboxing, and then we're going to do an assembly. And as I unbox the rest of the stuff, I'll kind of give you an idea. Some of you guys that follow the channel have noticed that I've been doing some fishing stuff. And in times in my life when I have not had car project stuff to do, I have always turned to one of my favorite pastimes, and that is fishing. So this will be not unlike things that we haven't done in the past. And I'm finding myself, having gotten a boat late last year, we didn't really get a chance to do a lot on the boat before it was time to basically put the boat up. And I got that part for now, but I've been ordering some things because I realized that whether it's cars, boats, or whatever your hobby is, if you take a break off in the kind of fast-paced society that we live in now, you can get left in the dust because technology changes in the fishing industry, electronics, graphs, even the baits have changed from the last time that I was doing a lot of regular fishing. So we've had to up our game. Show you what that is. It's a T-handle. T-handle for what? And there's a spike on the end. There's a little spike in there too. So what are we going to build today? One of those things that if you do a lot of shallow water fishing, as I will be doing, this is one of those things that for me nowadays is going to be a necessity. And I'm going to show you what we have. This is an 8-foot fiberglass pole. And what we are going to construct today is a shallow water anchor. Now, all of you guys who are fishermen know what a shallow water anchor is. Make sure there's nothing else in the box. Slide that out the way. A lot of you guys already know what that is, but for some who may not, because it's one of those things that I never used before, back when I was fishing, when I had my previous boats, even my smaller boats. I've always used the spot lock on my bigger boats on the trolling motor. But in areas like that I fish in the river where there is a current, and even if you turn your spot lock on, your motor is basically going to be running almost non-stop to keep you in a spot. But in some of the areas that I fish in the river, you're talking about maybe 3, 4, tops 5 feet of water. And for those times, instead of running your trolling motor and running it down, people are starting to use shallow water anchors. Now this company, and I'm going to give them a shout out, they're not sponsoring this video, but I am very appreciative of what they provide. And they provide you with, this is a fiberglass pole. It is solid, it's coated, it is very durable, and most of all, and best of all, it is very light. Very light. I've seen people use shallow water anchor poles and have metal poles, and I'm not saying that doesn't work, but hey, I'm trying to be as light as possible when I'm doing anything on the water, and anything that's light like that, I can. It's going to be easier to maneuver. Now, the company that provided this, hope their name is on here. This is the directions for this. I knew they were going to require you to have some JB Weld to assemble, and it's going to be very simple. But this is Max Gain Systems, MGS, and what they will sell you is fiberglass rod, anywhere from, I think, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and I think they even have 1 inch. But 3/4 is what we need for what we're going to be doing. And this one, if I can find a tape measure, I will let you know. I believe this one is 8 feet. I think that's what I ordered, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this one is. Let me verify that. So let me get my tape measure. So we're going to measure this. I believe it was 8 feet long. So we'll just verify. It was either 8 feet or 90. I think 93 inches, somewhere around there. Let's see. This is 93 inches long, which is just shy of 8 feet long. So this is just 3 inches shy of 8 feet long. So, pinning method. Adhesives are great, but nothing works as well as physical connection. A pinning method should be used on all parts if you have the capacity. So what they are recommending is to drill a hole in the T-handle and screw it on, as well as putting on a JB Weld. So I think what we're going to do is, well, I did have to take an important phone call, so I have to do a voiceover for this portion. But what basically we are going to do is to apply some of the JB Weld on both ends of the rod, and then what we'll end up doing on the T-handle end is drilling a hole, filling it in with JB Weld, and assembling it. One of the things that you must be aware of when you are using JB Weld in a cold place as we were this morning, the garage, you'll have extra time to set up, and it's really not going to dry quickly. So use that to your advantage. We mixed up the 2-part JB Weld epoxy, the black and the white, mix it up thoroughly, and when you get done it'll be gray. And what we're going to do is put about 3 or 4 lines of the epoxy on the exact area that the T-handle will go on. Just put lines down around the end of the stick, and what we're going to do once we get those lines on, we're going to insert the T-handle over.
Once you get the T-handle over, then you're going to turn it about a quarter turn, which will allow the air pockets in there to help with the drying. So be careful that JB Weld, once it gets on you, you want to wipe it off as soon as you can, so it's not hard to get off. So once we got the T-handle on, oh, and by the way, don't forget to wipe both ends with alcohol to prepare for the assembly. You want it to be free of any contaminants. So once we got the T-handle on, then we had to drill a hole. We drilled a hole, and then we had to, there's an indentation where they want you to put the hole in the T-handle, and you'll drill that out and then slide it over the area where you have drilled. And I would say drill about halfway through your fiberglass rod with the drill bit, and then you'll have to find you a screw to go in there. So that's what we did. We wiped off the other end with alcohol as well, and slid the pointy end over the part that will go in the ground. And in both cases, we're going to put a line, or say about 3 or 4 lines of JB Weld all the way around, and sliding both ends on. After we got that done, okay, we've sealed the ends on with the JB Weld. I drilled a hole in here, but I didn't want to go across to AutoZone and buy a screw, so I think this should do. I'll get it in the hole. I think we're good. I put JB Weld down in a hole and drilled it down to about a 3/4, maybe a 1/2 inch, and looks like that's going to be just about perfect. Okay, so now all really is left to do, and thank God it's cold out, because I've taken my time and this is not really dried, and that's a good thing, because usually if it's very warm outside, this JB Weld will basically, well, it will dry really quick. So I had time to smooth this out, and smoothing it out around the edge here, and when it dries, it's going to dry hard, and that should be sufficient. So now we have our almost 8-foot long shallow water anchor. Now I did order something from another company that you will see most likely in the next video, of how we're going to actually attach what we're going to use to hold the boat in place with this shallow water anchor. There are different schools of thought. Most people will shove this down into the soft bottom and then attach a some type of cord to the rod and then to the boat. I don't like that idea. I have seen people do that, and if you shove it in far enough, the pole, even this 3/4 inch, it will flex, but it basically will hold the boat in a position. And that's fine for some, but where I fish at is more of a muddy bottom, so I'd be inclined to believe that even if I shove this in deep enough, when it pulls, it's probably just going to make that, you know, pull and make this bend over in the mud. And I've seen people put these on with those cords and not be paying attention, and the boat will pull the cord out of pull the pole out of the mud, and then the pole will slide off in the water, never to be seen again. So I'm praying that that does not happen. You know, I could have swore I ordered white. I really wanted white because the white is easier to see if you were to drop this overboard. but maybe I didn't pay attention, but I could have swore I ordered white. But at this point, it really doesn't matter because I have black. So that's it. We have a shallow water anchor. Now all we need is the mechanism to attach it to the boat. And there are a number of schools of thought I have seen. Of course, all of you guys should be aware of power pole, and we've seen those. You've seen the guys have the talons on the back of their boat. All these high-end bass boats, and they spend anywhere from $1,900 to $3,400 for shallow water mechanical systems. That's just way overkill for what we're doing. So there are other methods where you can buy a bracket that will attach basically a bracket to your outboard, and you'll be able to slide this in right beside your outboard and lock the boat in place there. Some people will even go as far as to get two of these and anchor the front with a shallow water anchor, and then anchor the back and the front so the boat stays in one position. I don't think we'll have to worry about that where we are, and if so, I can always order another one. To be completely transparent, this entire kit, which included the T-handle and the stainless tip to my door, was somewhere around just shy of $90. And you can buy these already assembled for $90 plus shipping. This was actually way less than that, but the shipping for this item to my door was, I want to say $29-30, which I'm in the shipping business. I think that's excessive, but that was the only available, or the cheapest available option. And well, it did get here quick. I mean, I ordered it like 2-3 days ago and it arrived today, so I'm okay with that. Did I save any money? Not really. I mean, what, $4 or $5 as opposed to buying one that's already assembled from one of the companies. I just thought it would be cool just to have one of those things that you say, well, I made and put that together myself, and we'll be able to get out on the water soon. My grandson's ready. We had some deals made as to what he is to be doing around the house with his dad, so he's about ready to go fishing. Hopefully we get an early spring. Hopefully the weather breaks early and it starts warming up, because I have been scouting out a number of areas, rivers, lakes, all over the Virginia area where I live at, and we're going to strap that Crestliner 179 XFC to the back of the Maverick, and we're going to get out there and do some fishing this year. And I'm excited. I'm also in the off season this time when we're waiting for those times when we can get out. I've been doing my due diligence to retool my knowledge of the lures, and there's so many fantastic lures and things out there. I have to be careful because I watched some YouTube videos about some things that worked for my situation, and then you go online and start purchasing some of the stuff. Man, you can spend $100 on bait real quick, and don't even get me started as far as reels, rods, and lines. So I don't want it to get out of hand, because this is a fun thing that you'll be seeing on the YouTube channel, and I'm not going to go overboard, which I have had a tendency to do on several car thing occasions. So I'm keeping it in perspective, and I pray every day, Lord, no matter what I'm doing, help me to remain in the center of your will, and not to do everything that I want to do, but to ask you before I do all things, because I believe we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope to see you in a few days when we mount the anchor system to the boat. But until then, thanks for tuning in, and have a blessed week.